So I think Purdue was getting a little stir crazy this weekend before Omer Meyer arrived and before a couple other things happened this weekend. Purdue basketball fans, you know how they work, right? Like if things get a little too quiet, they'll just find a way to entertain themselves somehow. I feel like that's what happened, and maybe I'm projecting, but I saw a couple tweets. There were quotes about Antoine West, the freshman, that were circulating on Twitter with Matt Painter comparing him to Carsen Edwards. And it felt very random because it was very random because the quotes that are being circulated were not just randomly said in the middle of July right now. They were said back when Antoine West committed, I think, all the way back in November of last year. So kind of random that a quote from November from last year is being dug up in July. But like I said, I think our lovely, beloved Boilers got a little bit stir crazy this weekend waiting for the Omer Meyer IG to drop. I digress. We have to discuss it because it was talked about and no one's going to compare Antoine West to Carsen Edwards under my watch without you and I discussing it. Here's the quote from Matt Painter back in November. He said, quote, "I love Antoine West. I think he's fabulous. We're very fortunate to get him. Very underevaluated. He's a winner. He can make plays. He can make shots. He can handle the basketball, distribute, score, make pull-ups. Just a good all-around player." No notes from me so far. You got any problems with the first half of the quote?
I'm fine with that. Completely fine with that.
Yeah, I think we're both good. Here's the second
Yeah.
half of the quote. Like with Carsen Edwards, after a while, you're like, just shoot it. Let it rip. That's who he is. I think he has more playmaking than Carsen, but he still has that element where he can make deep pull-ups. He can shoot off the move. Good player. Just a good all-around player. I'm glad people didn't evaluate him. End quote. Antoine West, just shoot it, let it rip. He has more playmaking than Carsen. You okay with this?
Hmm. So I guess this is good timing on this one. We had an argument last week or a topic last week with which player you would add to this team to make them better. And I believe you wanted to add Carson Edwards to the team as like as a piece on this basketball team. Um, is Antoine West going to start for this basketball team? Because if he's Carson Edwards, he needs to play. But I was under the impression that given the guards that are already in the fold and what they have, that Antoine West wouldn't play much this season. Even though he has, stuff we've seen, video we've seen, first of all, physically, I think he's a lot bigger than people want to say. But if we got a Carson Edwards level player here, especially like playmaking wise, that guy plays, right?
I mean, he looked really good in the 5-on-5 footage they posted earlier
He
this week.
did.
And
He looked real good.
you and I are gonna break that down, I think, a little further. We were not on the channel on Friday when Dion and Riley did some of that themselves. So yeah, I look, even if Antoine West is a dude, do we have to do the Carson Edwards thing though?
We don't have to.
So just like if we take this at its word, can you remind me everyone who's in the Purdue backcourt right now?
Braden Smith,
So
Fletcher
Braden Smith, we
Lawyer,
compare him to Braden because there's no comparison for the guy who's going to set the NCAA assist record. Braden's Braden. Continue.
Fletcher Lawyer.
Good player. I don't have comps for him. Good player.
Okay. Omer.
So Omer's Israeli Carson Edwards, right? That's
Did
something
did
we've
Paint,
heard,
did
right?
Paint say that, or is that just more of a soap
Somebody
thing?
said it. So just to be clear, the Israeli Carson Edwards is on the roster behind Braden and Fletcher.
Got it. CJ Cox.
A lot of Carson Edwards in his game, and also Etwan Moore.
Middlesex Magic Carson
He
Edwards.
was a little bit Etwan Mori, but remember he started making his pull-ups and it was Carson Edwards. So
Understood. Okay.
Carson mixed with Etwan off the bench behind Israeli Carson Edwards and then behind Braden and Fletcher still.
Understood. Jakari Harris.
I don't think anyone's compared Jakari to anyone really. I just think he's like good bench guard and never forget he's related to Glenn Robinson.
And is eligible for Mexico's national team.
Yep. But
Okay.
no comp for him. He's fine. He's to the side.
Okay. And Antoine West?
So, and to be clear, is Antoine West the sixth guard on this team? Is that the order you unveiled him in?
I think he would be the sixth guard on this team, yes.
Braden, Fletcher, Meyer, Cox, Harris, Enter Antoine West, the sixth string guard on this team, correct?
Yes.
And he's Carsen Edwards with more playmaking.
Yeah.
So if I have it correct, the Purdue depth chart for this upcoming season, where they're the number one team in the country a year after finishing tied for fifth in the Big Ten, is National Player of the Year Braden Smith, best three-point shooter in the country Fletcher Loyer, Israeli Carsen Edwards, Carsen Edwards mixed with Etuan Moore, Jakari Harris, Carsen Edwards with more playmaking ability. Today's video is sponsored by LabCorp On Demand. Car, do you take care of yourself?
I try my best to, yeah.
Like not just treat yourself to expensive meals, but like you go to the doctor and things like that?
No, I just take care of myself. There's no need to go to the doctor unless I'm not taking care of myself, right?
Are you afraid of the doctor, Cart?
Just a little bit. I mean, if nothing's wrong, why would I go there?
Listen, I'm the same way, and so are millions of men across America. But that's why LabCorp On Demand is helping millions of people like us. With their men's health test, you can get a comprehensive look at your hormone levels, your total testosterone, and you don't even have to go to the doctor. It's easy, and you get the results the next day.
Testosterone, is that a big thing?
It's a really important thing, Cart. Sometimes you can feel off without even knowing something's wrong. But LabCorp On Demand wants to keep you healthy and wants to make it as easy as possible. Right now, you can get 20% off your men's health test by visiting our sponsor at tryelco.com/sleepersmedia. It's simple, affordable, and honestly, it's empowering to know that you're healthy and have this info about your body.
Didn't know that testosterone did all those things. I'm gonna have to take the guesswork out of this and go get my health checked out today using LabCorp On Demand. Yes.
So 3 different Carsen Edwardses are coming off the bench for this Purdue team behind Fletcher Loyer.
Which brings us to our next point. Rank those Carsons.
Even if it's going to be true one day, can we just stop? Does anyone realize how nonsensical this is? That's all. And I also, by the way, I'm not even asking Paint to stop because, like, it was perfectly reasonable for Paint to say this when Antoine West committed back in November, right? Kid commits, let's talk about it, gas him up a little bit, cool, keep it moving. We don't need to like dig that quote up 7 months later and act like it's news, right? Like, I just don't understand the obsession with doing that. And it sets this bar just unbelievably high for all of these guys. Omer Meyer's going to be good. I love that kid. I think CJ Cox very clearly is a Big Ten player, probably going to be a big time scorer one day. I love what I'm seeing from Antoine West right now. This is probably the most loaded Purdue backcourt since I've been alive. That can all be true. You don't need to compare 50% of these guys to one of the best guards in program history. That's just a pet peeve of mine. I called this out when people were doing it with Cassius. People compared AJ Hoggard to Cassius for a while. Then it was Jeremy Fears to Cassius, right? I hate when people do this. Respect the grades.
Hey,
Trying.
you hit a nerve when you disrespect Carsen Edwards on this channel. He's done too much. He's done way too. He had thigh tats and wrist tape. He didn't die for this, man. Respect him. I feel like this is ridiculous. This man had 240 balls in a NCAA tournament run.
I literally can't talk.
It's too much.
I think so. I think
Look,
I lost my voice defending Carsen Edwards.
that's honestly the way I would want to do it. So like you did it fighting a good fight.
Might be the peak of my career, honestly. What
Honestly. But
happened?
look, to the point, like we'll talk more about it on the other video where we do a little bit more in depth, like you stated. Like Antoine West looked good. He did. Like to where we could have a conversation about like what the guard order looks like or what the rotation looks like or where Antoine West could even play, given, maybe it's the bigger stature size that he has compared to maybe some of the others. Um, but you just don't have to go there. Everyone wants to go there. Everyone wants to compare player A to player B who was a great at the school. You don't have to do it.
It just sets the bar too high for no reason. That's
Right,
where I'm
because
at.
I was impressed with it and I had no expectations for Antoine West, but like if Paint's gonna tell me that he's this and disrespect one of my goats, I gotta see something.
Like, be CJ Cox first.
Yeah. Or like, sorry, I know you're fighting demons right now. But this is what you don't want to say also. If all these players are what they are, that player one starts somewhere, two is better than Fletcher Lawyer.
Chill on my guy.
I love Fletch, but like Carson Edwards is better than Fletch.
Different roles,
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that. Whatever role you want to say, Carson Edwards is better than Fletch.
different roles.
Who are you picking?
Carsen Edwards.
Okay, so like there we go. Rolls
But
roll
Cart,
schmaltz.
these guys aren't Carsen Edwards.
Yes,
That's the
well,
point.
they're not. They're Israeli Carson Edwards.
And Carson mixed with Etwan, and Carson with more playmaking.
Yeah, Carson mixed with Etwan is getting thrown to the side right now. Like if you're Carson mixed with Etwan,
Which one can you stack rank the Carsons? Which one would you most want to be?
well, first off, I'd rather just be Carson Edwards. Like no caveat. Which one's just Carson Edwards? No caveat. I think I would go Carson Etwan mix. Then I would go Israeli Carson, and then I would go Carson with more playmaking.
Okay. So in the end, we still have Antoine West last.
Yeah, and then four Carson Rooney.
Okay. I can't believe I lost my voice defending Carson Edwards. I'm afraid of what that. It's like a demon like entered my soul in the middle of me trying to fight off Purdue fans.
A Carson Edwards demon penetrating you is not what I had on my bingo card.
Well, that's what happens when we talk Antoine West.